We are starting with the concept of 3D trigonometry, which sounds difficult, but there is nothing to it as such. In 3D trigonometry, the two new things that we'll be using, the first one, that is the concept of tangent, which we already know. So let me just revise with the concept of tangent. If an angle is given over here as theta, this is opposite, this is adjacent, and yes, we are talking about a right angle triangle. So therefore, we know that tangent of theta equals to opposite over adjacent. We'll be using this simple concept in some of these questions. The second thing is that if I take the same triangle, let me draw it again. So that's the base. That is the height. This is the hypotenuse. And let's say this is a tower. This is the base of the tower. Let's call it B. This is the height of the tower, maximum point, that's T. And this is a point where a person is standing. And the person looks to the top of the tower. This angle is theta. If I draw a horizontal like this, therefore these two lines are parallel. Therefore, this angle is also theta. So let me introduce the term that is angle of elevation and angle of depression. So when we talk about angle of elevation, that is of T from A. And when we talk about depression, we will write angle of depression of A from T. It's just a matter of perspective. This is T from A, so we are measuring from A. This is A from T, so we are measuring from T. In both cases, the angle is measured with horizontal. It's never with the vertical. It's a hard and fast rule with horizontal. So therefore, this angle is there and this angle is there. T from A, that is we are measuring from A. So we tilt our head till we see that tower, the top of the tower. So this is the angle. And if a person is standing at this tower and this is his line of sight, that is the eye level. And now he tilts his head all the way to look at A. So that is the angle of depression. And again, you will be calculating it using tangent. What else needs to be known? Let's say I have a triangle and this is the base and this is the height. So let me just make it a little bit bigger. And this is the hypotenuse. And let's say the base has a length of 6 units. Height is 8 units. And Pythagoras theorem will give me this hypotenuse as 10. So the area of the triangle is half into 8 into 6 or 6 into 8, whichever way you want to write it. That is 24 square units. Now let's say, let me label it first. That is, this is A, this is B, this is C. Let me draw a perpendicular from B all the way to the line AC. So I'm drawing a perpendicular like this. Let me make it more accurate. Now, first of all, this perpendicular is there. And do not assume that this is 6 and this is 8, so this is divided equally. No, it won't. If these two lengths were 8 each, yes, it would divide equally. If these two lengths were 6 each, that perpendicular would be the perpendicular bisector, but not in this case. Now, there are different ways of doing the calculation for this one. First of all, what I can do is that I can find this angle theta based upon 8, and 6, and 10. And then I can use this thing 6 and find this height, that is h. Let's say, let me try this out. So first of all, method 1. That is, let me find tangent of theta equals to 8 over 6. Therefore, theta is tangent inverse of 8 over 6. That comes out to be 53.13 degrees. You can double check. Now, if I focus on this triangle ABC, and let me label this point as D. So this is based upon the big triangle, which is ABC. Now, focus on which triangle? That is ABD. Now, this is still the angle. This is the hypotenuse. Now, 6 is the hypotenuse. H is the opposite. So sine of theta is equals to 6 divided by h. Sine of theta is sine of 53.13 degrees. That is 6 over h. Sine of 53.13 comes out to be 8 over 10. So 8 over 10 is equals to 6 over h. Make h the subject. That is 6 into 10 divided by 8. That comes out to be, you can also double check from your calculator, that comes out to be 7.5 units or centimeters, whatever that is. That's the answer. But there is also another way of getting the same answer. And my aim is to focus on that. So let me add a page, the same diagram. And I know that the area is this. So let me also copy this, or I'll just write it down. So therefore, area of triangle, what's the name of the triangle? ABC. That's half into base into height. Height is 8. That comes out to be 24 square units. Now, this 10 is already known. So let me just remove this thing and remove the red line, remove this and this. Now, let me focus on this thing. That is this value, which is 10. And this value is h. If I take this triangle and copy it and paste it over here and turn it around, just don't forget about the dimension. Now, what is happening? This is the height. This is the base. So therefore, I'll write the area is still the same, but now the base and height have changed. So half into 10 into h should give me the same area, which is this thing, that is 24. So therefore, this is 24 equals to half into 10 into h. And if I'm not mistaken, this is 48 is equals to 10h. Therefore, h is 4.8 centimeter. I think I might have made a mistake over here. Let me go and correct it. Tangent theta is 8 over 6. That's 53.13. Sine theta for this thing is h over 6. So therefore, that is 3/4 of 10. That is 7.5. Now, let me just grab my calculator. Maybe I've calculated the wrong value. So 53.13, first of all, 4 divided by 3 and tan inverse, shift and tan, that is 53.13, that's correct. And let me calculate sine of that, that is 0.8. So that is 0.8, that's all good. So 6 divided by h, okay, I've made a mistake. This is h over 6. So now that is the correction that I need to make. So sine theta is h over 6. Why? Because h is the opposite and 6 is in front of 90. That is the hypotenuse. So therefore, this is h over 6. This is h over 6. Therefore, h is 8 into 6 divided by 10, 48 over 10. That comes out to be 4.8 centimeter. So that is exactly what we are getting. So that was a small correction that is made. So this is known as the concept of shortest distance from point to a line. Shortest distance from point to a line. That is the perpendicular distance. So in this case, the shortest distance from B to AC is BD. So this one, the shortest distance from B to AC is BD. It cannot be this, it cannot be this, it will keep on increasing. So that is the shortest distance. Now, there are some basic questions that we will do today and some tomorrow. First of all, trigonometry, angle of elevation and depression, paper 1, basic question. A man at the top of a vertical cliff observes a boat at the sea. This angle is 58. State the angle of depression of the boat from the man. First of all, draw a horizontal line like this. Also, draw a horizontal over here. This is the line of sight, that is this blue one. Therefore, this green angle over here is 90 minus 58. That is 32 degrees. So the answer is 32 degrees because these two lines are parallel. And this is the angle that we are talking about. Also, if they say state the angle of elevation of the boat from the man, of the man from the boat. The question could be asked like this also. Still, the answer would be same because this angle is also 32 degrees. So that is a basic question clarifying this idea. Next question. A man who stands tall is 1.8 meter tall, stands on horizontal ground 50 meters from a vertical tree. So I need to draw a small diagram. So first of all, this is the man, and this is how he's standing. So ignore my drawing. And then this has his eye level like this. And he's standing on horizontal ground. So this is the horizontal ground like this. And 50 meters from a vertical tree. So the tree I'm drawing like this. That's a green tree. And what about the angle of elevation from the top of the tree from his eyes is 30 degrees. So let me draw this line. That's the eye level. This distance from here to here is 1.8 meter. So let me write it like this. This is 1.8 meter from the tree. Ignore the thickness of the tree or the thickness of the person himself. Okay. Now, what else is there? The line of sight from the top. So now I'm going like this. That's the top of the tree. This is 30 degrees. So I have 1.8 meter. I have 30 degrees. I can find this much height from here till here. That's not the height of the tree. That is just this thing. That is this particular distance. Let me call it D. So therefore, I'll write sine of 30 degrees is opposite divided by 1.8. Sine of 30 is 0.5. I think it would be written over here. There it is. That is D divided by 1.8. Therefore, D is half of 1.8, which is 0.9 meter. But the man himself is 1.8 meter tall. So now this is not a scale diagram. The man is 1.8 meter tall, and that is 50 meters. My bad. Another mistake I made. Hold for a second. This distance is not 1.8. This is 50 meters. And this man is 1.8 meter tall. So now let me do the calculation. Sine of 30 degrees is equals to D divided by 50. Sine of 30 is half. That is D over 50. So therefore, this value of D comes out to be 0.5 into 50, which is 25 meters. So this D is 25 meters. This is found, but don't forget to add this 1.8 to it. It says use as much information below as is necessary. That means this is not necessary, this is not necessary, only this is necessary to calculate an estimate of the height of the tree. Give the answer to a reasonable degree of accuracy. So therefore, we will say that the height of the tree is this distance plus the height of man. So this distance is 25, height of man is 1.8. We will give the answer correct to 1 decimal place because that is all what's available for us. So that is the height of the tree. So I hope this simple question is understood by you all. And we will start with this thing. Also, yes, this question can be done. A vertical flagpole 18-meter high stands on horizontal ground. So again, we are talking about a flagpole like this. And it stands on horizontal ground. So that is the purple horizontal ground like this. Calculate the angle of elevation. One more thing, let me first write this as 18 meters. This is flagpole. And calculate the angle of elevation of the top of the flagpole from a point on the ground 25 meters from its base. So this is 25 meters. This is the base. This is A. Let me call this thing as C. So CA is the pole and BA is the base. 25 meters is given, 18 meters is given. Let me connect one line between B and C like this. So now we are asking for the angle of elevation theta. So now we will use tangent of theta, that is 18 over 25. Therefore, theta is tan inverse 18 over 25. And at this point, let me divide 18 divided by 25. That is 0.72 and shift and tan. This comes out to be 35.75 degrees. So theta is 35.75 degrees, which can be written as 35.8 degrees, correct to 1 decimal place. That is the level of accuracy that is required. So far, we have solved up till this part, and that completes today's lecture.